Alright, I want to try something new tonight. I'm going to sort of do a commentary track for this new mixtape that I put together. It's the second tape in my demonstration series, which is pretty much a compilation of demos, live tracks that I like. I've started pretty far back in time in 1968 with the Motor City 5, and we go all the way to 2007 with a demo that Momus just cut like literally 2 days ago and put on his weblog. And thank you, Momus, for that gift. It's a great song, cover of David Bowie's Ashes to Ashes. So anyway, I'm just going to talk a little bit about each song, why I picked it, why I like it. I really don't think that there's anyone who will like all the songs, so feel free to uncheck things in your iTunes playlist as you listen to the tape. The first song is called No More Hot Dogs, and it's by a guy who's dead now. He passed a couple years ago, named Hassel Atkins. And Hassel was a brilliant and incredibly prolific rock and roller from Appalachia. Possibly the only musician of his kind, really. He was a multi-talented, multi-instrumentalist who very often played, several instruments, the drums, the guitar, the harmonica, sang simultaneously. He did voices, and he started recording in the 50s in his trailer on a tape recorder, and continued to record that way for most of his life. He started playing when he was just a kid. Eventually, the Cramps covered one of his songs, She Said, in the early 80s, and he sort of gained global recognition from there. An amazing artist. There's a story about him. He was he was bipolar, and by all accounts, he pretty much didn't sleep. He only ate meat, and he drank 2 gallons of coffee a day. Anyway, he was staying in the New York apartment of the owners of his record label who distributed him, and they had a can of Campbell's soup in their living room that had been autographed by Andy Warhol, and Hassel opened the can, made the soup, ate it, threw the can away. And I don't think that that's some kind of allegory about the Velvet Underground. I think Hassel just really was hungry. Second song is a cover of Tutti Frutti by Detroit's own MC5. And MC5 is one of a handful of groups that has recently convinced me that punk started in the 1960s, in the late 1960s. And I'm not talking about proto-punk, I mean punk, period, in full, in the late 1960s. And, when I was a kid, I thought that the Sex Pistols, that God Save the Queen was the first punk song, but that really, I don't think was the case. Anyway, the MC5 really were punk. Their first album was a live show, and they they were involved with some revolutionary political groups like the White Panther Party and Up Against the Wall Motherfuckers. Track 3 is I Want to Be Your Boyfriend by the Ramones, from a demo session from 1975. It was the first Ramones demo ever recorded, and it's pretty good, it's classic Ramones. It's on the first album. Track 4 is I'm Young by Jonathan Richman. It's from a demo, sort of a session that he did in his own living room in 1973. Somehow an acetate of the session survived, and the microphones must have been in the right places because I think it sounds really, really good. This song is my favorite from this session, and it sort of has one foot in what would become his solo career and one foot in, sort of the greatness of the Modern Lovers. By this time in 1973, even though it was 3 years before the record would be officially released, the Modern Lovers were over and done with, and Jonathan had other things on his mind. I actually find myself wondering who were Jonathan's girlfriends, and I wonder how many girlfriends he had. All right, I want to move a little faster here, and I'm going to read off a list. The next track is No Compassion from the 75 Talking Heads CBS demos 2 years before the release of their first album, Talking Heads 77, and pretty much my favorite demo recording ever from any artist. Incredible. Anyway, Next song is track 6, Grey Lagoons, live by Roxy Music. Very much not punk and very, very lovable. This is a really lo-fi recording. Track 7 is Designed to Kill by James Chance. Not a demo, not a live recording, the exception that proves the rule, I think. I think we need a little James Chance right here in the number 7 slot. Number 8 is very interesting. It's a U2 track called Another Time, Another Place from 1979. It sounds very Chameleons-like to me, and this I think is from a period before U2 developed a really super distinctive sound. Tracks 9 and 10 are also not demos, not live. There's Private Plane by Thomas Lear, which is a huge favorite of mine from last month. Wasn't recorded last month. I found it last month. Thanks to Andy. Thank you, Andy. The next track is also from Andy. It's a recording of Depeche Mode in Amsterdam playing Ice Machine, which is one of my very favorite Depeche Mode songs ever, and I even have another favorite live version of it from the Bridge House in 1980 for you Depeche Mode nerds out there. Next is a demo of Talk Talk by the band Talk Talk. This is my favorite single of the 80s, and I know that's a big statement to make, but I think that you should have a favorite. You kind of have to have a favorite, and this is it for me. 13 is a vocal demo of Almost by OMD, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. 14 is the demo version of an XTC song called Always Winter Never Christmas, which is a phrase from a Narnia book. And if that isn't pretty fucking twee, I don't know what is. Alright, we're out of the new wave portion of the tape. And here is a live version of a song by a band called Earth. The song is Divine and Bright. It's live, and singing, the vocal is Kurt Cobain. The interesting thing about Earth is, in a sense, they're a precursor to the modern kind of drone band Sun O. I mean, they're quite different from Sun O, but you can see the relationship between the two bands if you sort of squint a little bit. And I miss Kurt, you know. And it's always sort of a treat to hear a vocal that I haven't heard before. 3 more songs. One is a little bit of noodling by this guy who's a video game journalist. His name is Tim Rogers, very talented writer. And it's just him sort of fucking around on the guitar for 2 seconds. The next song is that Momus track that I alluded to, the cover of Ashes to Ashes. And it's about Major Tom. Some people think that the original, the David Bowie song, sort of rung in the decade of the 80s. And I think that's, I don't know if that's true or not, but it's an interesting way to look at this song. The last song on the tape is the demo version of Band of Horses' Funeral, which is really a great single, really fantastic. And that's it. That's the tape. I hope you enjoyed it.